Item 8 is the public transport update, and that's in the hands of Mrs. Gilbertson. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This is a very brief report this month or this quarter. Just a couple of highlights out of the report. We show again that we had the highest patronage during March on record. That's the March madness that they keep talking about, but that was even an improvement on last year, which is good to see. I'll just go through some of the stats there, which are available for your information, and also just to advise that the trial of signage in Flaxmere has actually started today. They're installing 31 of those signs as of today, and as soon as we know how successful that has been, we will roll them out in all over Hastings and then throughout Napier as well, if Napier City are pleased with how the trial went. Bikes on buses continues to be very popular. We're seeing more and more of them now, which is great. And just one funny thing, somebody actually lodged a lost property complaint last week because they left their bike on the bus and forgot to take it off.
Well, just Councillor Scott, question?
The bikes on buses, have we any idea whether the trend in use is for commuting or for recreation?
It's a large mixture. There are a lot of bikes being carried in the morning and at night, so that would assume they are for commuters, but it is a mixture, and they're very popular on the weekends as well.
Well, I just wanted to check, Mrs. Gilbertson, are you happy with that, are you? Yes, we are. All right, Councillor Rose.
Madam Chair. I just wonder if Mrs. Gilbertson could give us a bit of an update on the commuter shuttle that runs between Havelock North and Napier 5 days a week. I think there's 2 trips each morning and evening. Coming to council, I frequently meet the little shuttle bus, and I met it this morning. Doesn't appear to be a lot of passengers on it. Perhaps it's just the run that I meet, but are the numbers satisfactory on that run?
The numbers have improved slightly over last year. We would still like to increase those. They're pretty static, but there's certainly room for improvement on that. We've done quite a lot of publicity around it. Yeah.
There seemed to be some public desire for that service when we commenced it, and it's, Madam Chair, just perhaps a little bit of a shame that the public haven't utilised it to the extent that it could be used. The second question I have, we altered last year through a management decision to, I forget the route number, but to take the bus to Somerset Village in Hastings as a result of some efforts made by the residents of that village. Has that, again, Mrs. Gilbertson, been a satisfactory uptake from the moving the bus stop to allow passenger uptake there? Has it been
You'd have to say that it's probably one of the lowest patronised services that we have. We've had probably a very slight increase on it. To do that improvement, it was the cost was very negligible, so we were able to do it. But that's probably one of the areas that we'll have a look at. We're going to do a network review later this year, and that will be one of the services that we look to see. Maybe it might be that it's too regular, or it can link in with another service, so that'll all be part of that one. It isn't significant numbers.
Yes, thank you. It was made clear to the residents at the meeting that we held that if they didn't use the service, if it was provided, they may risk losing it. I just wonder if it may be helpful to write to the management of Somerset, urging them to perhaps encourage their residents to make use of it, or else they may be at some risk of losing service.
That's right.
Councillor Gilbertson.
It's an update. I've been reading a few things in the paper about Napier actually providing a bus stop. Is that happening or about to happen, or just pie in the sky? Do you know anything about that?
A bus terminal?
Yeah.
Oh,
instead of having to wait in the rain at the Marine Parade or something like they usually do.
Down at Clive Square? Yeah. They've got
I
it.
just read something in the paper that something might be
No,
happening.
I
Yeah.
think
Living at the other end of the
Councillor
province.
Mrs Gilbertson's got the complete answer.
Good.
Your decision.
They have put it out as part of their annual plan for consultation. I've been over and met with Napier City about it. There is only room for 5 buses there because we wanted to have an early talk to see whether there was any potential for our services to link in. What they've currently proposed would not provide for our buses as well. But from my understanding also that Napier City Council will only go ahead with that bus terminal if the other operators, like the intercity operators, actually contribute to it. So that'll be part of their annual plan discussions.
Mrs Gilbertson. Right, did you just continue on perhaps with the
Yeah,
presentation?
no,
Thank you.
there's nothing else.
That's nothing else.
No more questions.
We finished at the right moment then. Councillor Scott and then Councillor Wilson.
The total mobility is just a snapshot of the year to date, but there's a constant increase in it. The amount stays relatively, the spending per month relatively static. Number of new clients coming on. Do we actually keep track of the number of clients going off? Have we got an overall feel of how many people use it? Because we've always had figures cumulatively showing a huge potential growth in this, but it must somehow be matched also by some ceasing to use the service.
We actually, Margaret has just, she'd sent out a letter about 2 or 3 weeks ago to all clients on our database, trying to get a complete list of maybe those who no longer use the service for whatever reason that might be, which it is very difficult for us to find that information out if somebody has died. We often take it that because they haven't applied for vouchers for a very long time that we take them off the list, but she's just doing that exercise at the moment to try and clean up the list we've currently got, which is 5,000 or 6,000 on it, and bring it back to a more reasonable number of people that are actually using the service. And the response has been really good. So we should be able to give you a report on that next time.
Thank you. Councillor Wilson.
Just a question you may not be able to answer just off the cuff, but connectivity with the regional hospital and frequency of service, could at some stage that come back to us, please?
So do you want the numbers of...
Have you got that now on the top of your head, or?
Do you mean like DHB patients or...?
Yeah. Just how often are we connecting with the regional hospital?
Well, our services go through there every day, every half an hour and every quarter of an hour in the mornings.
Okay.
So the Napier to Hastings,
Right.
the main service, Route 12, goes
So at least
through
every
there.
half an hour goes through there?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Someone like to move the recommendation? Councillor Gilbertson, Councillor Rose. Do you wish to speak, Councillor Gilbertson?
Mrs Gilbertson on a good job, and it's heartening to see the things going in the right direction and continuing that way.
Thank you, Councillor Rose.
So I just support that, Madam Chair. I think this is one of the more successful arms of Council's activity, and certainly congratulate Mrs Gilbertson for the work that she's done since she's been in this position.
Thank you. Do you wish to speak? Anybody else wish to speak further? Councillor McGregor.
Very briefly, just to reiterate the previous comments, this is really a success story, and if you look at the bar graphs, you don't often see such good results. And for the 2 months, February to March, that show 5 years, we're within a year or two of doubling the number of passenger trips, and that's tremendous progress. I congratulate everyone involved.
You wish to speak again, Councillor Gilbertson? No? All those in favour, please say aye. To the contrary, no. Carried.